gone over to the other side.
I need to know the truth.
The truth is complicated.
Is it tough as an actor when you're in these parts and there's a scene where Samir is placing explosives on a building that you get out of your head and you think of somewhere somebody did this somehow? I mean, is it tough to?
I mean, it's I guess when you think about it afterwards. I mean, not at the moment. You know, you're just playing a part and you're, you know, servicing what the role requires. But that was the whole reason to do the movie, was to tell this story, this action thriller, and this, you know, spy, this espionage, international intrigue, against the backdrop of stuff that could potentially be happening.
Right. Now let's talk a little bit about Samir, because he's on so many different levels. You're looking at him. Here's a guy who's doing, you know, religious, doing what he believes in. And there's obviously things that we don't know as an audience member, but he quotes Martin Luther King, and he's so tell me a little bit about Samir.
Well, I know he's a complicated character, someone who, you know, originally from Sudan, moved to the U.S., you know, fought in the army, left that, fought with the Mujahideen, came back, you know, was tapped on the shoulder by someone and said, hey, come do this for us. And so he's got a lot of stuff that he's dealing with, but he's mainly, you know, he's kind of a loner, and he's kind of somebody who's trying to figure out the right thing to do.
Yeah. Samir says in the movie, when you mentioned a loner, he said that he doesn't feel anywhere at home. There's no place at home. What about you yourself? If you were to say, this is where I'm at home, where's that place?
It's wherever my family is, you know. And we've been all over the place. And it's right now it's in LA, but you know, it could be anywhere. I mean, I think it's cliche when they say home is where the heart is, but it's also pretty true. You know, home is where my family is.
Yeah. You said cliche and brought up a memory. It's like, I think the universal thing in a movie, if you need to show how smart somebody is have them playing chess. So I mentioned it to Guy, said if Samir and Roy were to play chess, who do you think would win?
Probably Samir, because if he didn't win, he would cheat. No, I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah. One thing, I can barely speak English, but you had to learn a language for this film. Is that something that you can just grasp, or is it just memorization techniques?
No, it's something that I had to study a lot, and not just, you know, the language, but, you know, it's the language with the prayers and the ritual. So I had to, you know, there's a lot to do, and you want to make sure you're doing it right. You don't want the people who actually do it to look at you and go, you don't know what you're doing at all, which happens a lot in films.
Yeah, this is a very difficult part for me because I don't like to give away anything. I don't even watch a trailer going into a movie. So I see the poster, and it was too much for me.
Right.
But I also, as a fan of movies and I need to know things, but I don't want anything to be given away. But there's a scene on a boat where a guard is disabled, but Samir walks, and then he pauses, leans up against the boat. What's going on there in your mind? I mean, it was such a great moment for me because I'm like, the weight. Is it the weight of the character?
Yeah. What I'm about to do, what it means to do this, and what my fate is going to be as a result of this. You know, I think that's what Samir was weighing, all that stuff.
Yeah, you'll understand when you see the movie. I just don't want to ruin anything for anybody, but it's such a great moment, a character. And you talked about, with Guy a lot, about the wheels. You guys both, I don't want to say, it just seems to me that you can see the wheels turning in both of your, not only characters, but in your own mind. Do you work a lot of that? I mean, acting, is that mostly done in your head? I mean, the way you present the work?
It's you know, it's a lot of places. It depends. You know, a character like this, where he didn't have many people that he could hold counsel with, where he could really tell his true feelings to, that's where he is. But I think a lot. You know, I definitely am a thoughtful person, but I like the ability to act because you can physicalize that stuff and really play with other people and kind of get it out.
Samir's backstory is given to us, and that's not always the case in movies and so forth, but is that important to you? Do you make that up as your own? You're defining the character?
Yeah, I need to know for myself, even if it's not something that ever shows up in the film to any degree. It's just my personal way that I like to work. I would create a backstory if it didn't exist for the character on page.
So, cat and mouse, intense, on the edge of your seat thriller. Great job.
Thank you so much.